Morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Alright, I'm just gonna put you on there. I'm like wrestling with my cart. Good morning. Oh, it's Wednesday. It's code orange, so the kids don't have school today. Um Yay. It is cold as I don't even have a reference. It's cold. I think it's like 11 degrees right now. Um it didn't rain or snow, so there's no ice over, but the kids still have no school today, so they're asleep. My dog is asleep in my bed because he didn't want to move. He has like low fur, so he has very short hair, so he gets cold very easy. The other one is on the stairs, so I'm down here by myself, and I did not put on the space heater, and it's flipping cold in here. So I'm gonna put that on as soon as I'm done with this live. I don't know what I have my Patreon, which I'm excited to do today. We're going to be doing the first part of the Zaya bag, which is is not a lot, but it's a lot. Like you feel super accomplished when you're done with the first half. Um, so I have that today, and then I'm trying to get things organized, trying to get a log of bags that I'm making for specifically for the convention based off of actors and people that are going to be presenting and be there, and just trying to not be super like I'm still tired. I'm on antibiotics still, and my body is still fighting whatever it's fighting, and it's just taking longer than I thought it would. Um, it's cold. It's cold. It's bright. It's super bright, but it's super cold. I'm sorry, I was incorrected with it's 12 degrees, not 11. 12. It's cold. I mean, we've had colder days, because you know how like YouTube likes to scare the hell out of not YouTube, but Facebook likes to bring up stuff when you're talking about stuff. So I was talking about the weather yesterday, and it did point out 6 years ago from yesterday's date, we were at -2 degrees. So it happens. um so yeah, basically that's it. I needed to put the space heater on beforehand. I should ask Kendall, but he was asking me what bags does he want to take pictures of and hit so that way I can have pictures of them. I have a lot to do. I have 3 customs I need to get done, but I'm not planning on doing those until this weekend. And I'm going to be filming making the Rosie tomorrow, and then just like I'm just trying I'm just going through my calendar and making sure I'm hitting everything I'm supposed to hit. Okay, where are you, Marie? That's I'm not complaining. We don't have a lot. I think we have under 6 inches, to be honest with you. It's not a lot. It's a lot from the last past 2 years. Apparently there was a snow drought that I was not aware of, that there was like 700 days without snow. I don't recall it being like that, but again, I'm not a weather person, so I'm not like that's not my profession, but there was some snow drought in Maryland, and we got hit. I don't think it's bad, but the schools are like, "No, it's too cold." I get it. If it was like 32 degrees and there was no snow coming down, I'm like, "Take them to school." But the fact that it's 11, that is anything can happen when it's this cold. There's like heat can go out, power can go out. My Wi-Fi keeps going in and out. Like I had to sign in here to go live like 6 times before I actually got it. So I already know that with Patreon I usually use my cameras. I'm gonna have to use this and just position it at an angle so they could see everything that I'm doing on my table, because there's something about cold weather in my Wi-Fi, it just does not it's they don't they're not copacetic, they just don't merge and mix. And I'm not the only one because I in the basement, I could hear my neighbor's kid, like, he plays, like, video games religiously, and, like, yesterday he was super frustrated, and I was like, I feel your pain, my friend. I feel your pain." Yeah, it's 17 degrees in DC. You guys are always just a little bit warmer than us, not too much. Not too much. Savannah, Montana, you guys are used to like, you guys would laugh at us. You'd be like, "You guys got 6 inches of snow. Ha, 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 ha. That's a Thursday in the morning, and I'll walk in the park as I'm walking my dog 3 miles." There's some people like I was telling my friend and she's in Alaska, she's like, "Are you complaining about your snow?" But I'm like, "No, I actually really enjoy it because I feel like it makes everybody slow down and appreciate life a little bit better." She's like, "Good, because I thought I was gonna tell you about, how many inches of snow I got." I'm like, "I'm not playing who wins snow wars because I will lose every single time." That's like playing who has it hotter, like Arizona or like like another or Texas. Why are you playing a game when you guys both know you're hotter than Hades? Like, it's not a fun game. Let's not play who has the most humidity. It's very easy. The bigger my hair is, that means there's a lot of moisture in the air. You got it? I'm a really good thermostat for humidity. You could just be like, yeah, there's moisture there. Shinova's hair is super big today. Yeah, so it's hard. You guys, it's Savannah, Georgia. I know. I have a couple friends in Savannah. I have a couple friends in Georgia that are just saying it's cold. It's cold. Whatever this cold front's coming through, it's cold. I don't see any kids. I didn't even see kids outside. Normally, when it snows, they're like snowballs or they could sled, and there's enough snow to do that. And there's like enough hills in our area where you do it. Nobody was outside because it's cold as balls outside. It's cold. So, woo. I don't know if we have I don't think we have snow today. I think we get snow tomorrow or Saturday, one of them. I'm not too sure. Whatever the thing that's going on in Texas is gonna come up to us by Friday, I think. Friday or Saturday. So I'm not even looking at the weather. I'm looking at stupid stuff. I have weird obsessions, but now so someone had the bright idea. They were like, okay, so I've been looking at all the orcas attacks, right? So somebody was like, look at the giraffe attacks. I'm like, giraffes don't attack people. Now I understand you may just look at me right now and be like, Shinova, you're stupid. They're a wild animal. They'll attack if they feel threatened. Just every place I've ever been, giraffes are kind of like free range. Like I remember the first time Faith seen a giraffe, she was 3 years old and she was like trying to give it the bamboo. We were in Arizona and the tongue wrapped around her little arm and she was giggling. I just thought of them as like big puppies. Like that's how I look at them. They freak me out because they're so big and like the things they could do with their neck, like it freaks me out. But I didn't know they attack. So they gave me 3 different stories to Google, and man, I was stuck on stupid. Then watching all these, there's been a lot of giraffe attacks since like COVID. Like I'm like, what is going? It all deals with their cubs. Like they feel threatened that they think their baby's gonna get injured, but they're usually at an area where their humans and giraffes roam freely around each other. But yeah, dude, I was like, shut up. Now I'm gonna be secretly afraid of giraffes. Not a secret anymore, but seriously, their necks freak me out. Like, I don't know. Have you ever looked at an animal and like something like doesn't like a joey freak you out because they look like they're like swole and they're like trying to roll up on you? You're like, oh god, this thing's gonna. I know why dingoes freak me out too. Pretty much, I don't want to go to Australia because all your animals intimidate the shit out of me. Um, like, and the thing is that I think I'm a brave person until I talk to someone from Australia and they do like a live. They'll be like, "Oh, there was a snake in the garden," and they're just like picking it up, tossing it, throwing a huge spider, and I'm just like, I would, I would die. I'm still freaking out over the fact that there was a frog in my toilet in Florida. I can't get over it. It wasn't gonna hurt me. It's just why is it there? If it could get there, that means other like little things could get there. I no, no, no. And the thing is that I could be brave for my children. Like I will be brave for my children, and they'll be like, "Mom, we'll get it right." But secretly, I am screaming inside, like, like I am freaking out. I have been like I had like coming out here is different. See, in California, I had to deal with like, okay, there's black widows. Black widows are like known in California, but you're so used to them that like they don't even bother you. Like anyone that watches me from California wouldn't even blink their eye. They're yeah, daddy long legs and black widows are like common. You roll up your trash, you have a black window right there by your hand, and you're just like, whatever. You could just flick it off, call it a day, right? You're used to it. You're used to like if you're in a mountain climbing, you know there's mountain lions, you know there's like four different kind of uh like this means rattlesnake for you guys. Just like there's different rattlesnakes or whatever. So you bring a walking stick, you know you go in pairs and whatever. You're used to that stuff. I was not prepared for out here. Like out here, there's like all kinds of woodland, like Mary Poppins, Snow White creatures, and they're not afraid of you. Like the squirrels out here, they're not afraid of you. They like kind of look at you like, why are you walking in my way? You need to move out of my way. Like they're Chip and Dale's running around like they're freaking crazy. There's wildlife that I am just not used to seeing, right? And every time there's something new. Just like the fact that the owl will just perch itself on my gate and just like taunt Loki. That is some weird shit. That is not normal. Okay. I'm not Snow White. I'm not Snow White. I'm not. Oh no, I'm. It's easier for me to pretend that they're not there. And I guess in California, that's what happened. There became a thing where, like, okay, if it's like a roadrunner, we're used to seeing those. You know, if it's like snakes, whatever, we're used to seeing those. But there's not like a boatload of wildlife out there because we're if there's a tree in California, we build on it. That's what we do. Arizona taught me a whole different thing when I had to shake out shoes for scorpions, but scorpions didn't freak me out either because, like, I don't know, they just didn't freak me out. Now, the 11 different species of rattlesnake out there, hell yeah, that shit is freaky. I moved close to a freeway on purpose because they don't like the vibration of the freeway. Man, no, dude, I was not prepared. Like, you're walking to your car, rattlesnake. You're lifting up a trash can, rattlesnake. I mean, damn, there was like the rattlesnake to people ratio is deep, dude. I'm just gonna say. Everywhere I moved, it just like the animal situation just escalated. But Maryland is especially weird to me because it has some weird animals. The first time I seen a cicada was out here, and then what was it like 2, 3 years ago during COVID? We had that million cicadas where Loki was trying to eat the cicadas as they're flying around. They smelled, they were horrible. They kept hitting me in my face, and then I was trying not to freak out. And if you ever see me trying not to freak out, it is the most funniest thing in the world because you could totally tell I'm freaking out and I'm trying to hold my composure. And it takes everything in me to do so. Because if I freak out, my kids freak out. Like they feed off my energy. So I try, I try so hard not to freak out over animals, but yeah, I do. But it was the funniest one was when my brother came down here for the first time and a deer touched his hand and he screamed and he passed out. I realized then it's because we're from California. We're not used to having interactions with animals. And that's the circle back to the giraffe thing. These giraffe horror stories are based off of these doctors that are studying giraffes and they live in this like habitat in South Africa where like the giraffes roam free and the people roam free. And I guess I never thought of them as attacking. Yes, in my head, if there is Mama Bear is not just a saying, like if something happens to one of our kids, we're gonna go 0 to 100. We're willing to murder, take bullets, die for our children, the whole 9 yards. So why wouldn't the animals do the same thing, right? Shit, I was not prepared. And then they had it on video. That lady got karate kicked from a fucking giraffe and broke like every rib in her body, fractured her skull. I've never seen a giraffe kick before, and that's all I can think of last night. And it was like on instant replay in my dreams, and I cannot not see it. So if you guys Google it, you're welcome. Okay. She got kicked by a giraffe. Like, they're like huge. They're like what happened to you last year? Oh, it's a better year. I got kicked by a giraffe. I had to recover. It broke every rib of my body, fractured my skull. I was paralyzed for 6 months. I'm still doing rehab. Like seriously. And she like her like the thing that was sad is one of her children didn't make it, the baby that was an infant, but the 4-year-old ran. She kind of as it was running towards them, she kind of made her son run, and she like tried to cover her child, her daughter. But yeah, dude, that thing kicked her. Like I I had no idea they attacked. Still don't. They're giraffes. They're like the Great Danes of the animal world to me, and I'd never seen it before. It's weird. Spiders and snakes. Okay, right? I'm not here for the spiders and snakes. I like Miko and Monica could tell you that every time I'm in Florida and we're walking somewhere and I'm like, if I see a lizard or if I see something, I am going to scream and I apologize ahead of time. My kids are not here, nor is my husband. So my natural reaction is to run. And this last time we were in Florida, something was in the pond and it was making bubbles and going across the water. These fools are sitting here looking. I was like, I have watched enough horror films to know that I'm not going to be the person that watches it. Give me the car keys. I will sit in the car. I will sit in the car. I won't even turn it on. Just open up the door. I'm not watching. I'm not watching. I'm not that person because if we're in that situation, I only need to be faster than one person and I will fight dirty. Why are you watching what's going across the pond with bubbles? Obviously it's not good. That's a man-made lake. That means there is a creature there that has never been there before. No, 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 I don't play that. No. Just like if we were here, and we were camping, I would be like, whoever's in my tent mate, we need to get the hell out of here. You hear that? That means that there's like a Jason, and we are not dealing with this. Okay. Snow blizzard. Let's see. Good morning, Deb. Oh yeah, no, no. The squirrels are bold. The squirrels in DC are bolder than any other squirrels, though. Every time I go visit a friend in DC, I'm just like, they'll be looking at their nuts like, why are you looking at us? Why aren't you moving? And you're just like, damn, you're squirrels. You're supposed to be like, okay. Especially the DC squirrels are different. They're like, first of all, they're black and gray. Um, they're not like that soft silver gray. I'm talking about like a charcoal gray. They're different. They're special and they're very aggressive. Like when I was moving stuff into AwesomeCon, we had to move around two of them. They weren't moving, and I was like, I'm at this point afraid that they're going to bite if they're not afraid to move. That means they're okay to stand their ground. And Kendall's like, really, Shanova, you automatically I don't play with the wildlife. I know that if I can't read their mind, that means that they can go 0 to 100. I'm sorry. An animal's an animal at the end of the day. Yes, thank you, Lynette. Wild animals are not pets, man, dude. No. Every time I'll see like, oh, my cat, and they'll have like a female lion and they're petting it in between his paws. I'm like, and this is how people die. I'm like, did we not remember what happened to Siegfried and Roy? Like, I'm just saying, like, history repeats itself. There's a reason why we have to learn history in school, in elementary school, junior high school, college, and even when you go into a job, you learn the history of that company. There's a reason why we learn history because it repeats itself. Okay. Stop messing with wild animal, people. Stop. Study them from afar. Don't mess with their habitat. Don't be like, oh, they need help. Let me help them. No, dude, it could be a trap. It could be a trap. It could be a trap. Just saying. Also, did you guys see that thing with Tesla? Because of this freeze, there's like a whole bunch of like Tesla robot cars that are on the side and they can't move. And like Tesla people are like pissed. They're pissed because like they can't get it charged or anything because it's not equipped for freezing below freezing weather. I was just like, oh snap, that's scary. Terminator's prophecy. I'm just throwing that out there too. I'm a very paranoid person. It just play it off a little better. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, owls, Dawn, out here freak me out. I did not know their legs look like that until he lifted up his skirt. I'm assuming it's a guy. I have no idea. I don't know how to tell a female owl from a male. I'm not going to even look it up because then my curiosity will get the best of me. So I'm just going to call him him, even if it may be a she. I don't know. It likes Loki. It doesn't it does weird stuff. Like I've watched it from the window with the door closed because I'm not messing with talons. Call me a chicken. I don't know. So, like, it does weird stuff, like, it drops pine cones off for Loki. It does weird things, like, I was talking to the vet about it, and the vet's like, "Oh, get him inside because the talons can mess up his face or whatever," but it's been like this for over a year now. I just don't go outside, and I don't communicate or touch or look at it. I do call him in immediately, but, like, it, like, messes with Loki, like, the woodpecker too. The woodpecker will, like, peck the tree right beside our house, and I'm like, "Isn't there?" Because Loki's, like, notorious for jumping and getting birds and leaving me presents. So, I've been waiting for this woodpecker because Lord knows it likes to start pecking at 5 o'clock in the morning. No respect. But no, it just, like, birds like Loki, like the duck and the geese and all those things, they like him even though he kills birds. It makes 0 sense. 0. Like, I don't know. It's but, like, yeah, Roxy is another one, she doesn't play with animals, like, she doesn't even like her own species. She's very timid, I kinda like her because she's kinda mean. I don't know. She doesn't like anybody, she only likes her family, and her hackles are always up, and she kinda reminds me of Marie from the Aristocats, like, just like, frizzy and just pouncing everywhere. I don't know. I like her, but I that's Kendall's dog, like, that dog is so in love with Kendall, it's not even funny. If when I hug Kendall, she starts barking like crazy, like, she is so in love with Kendall. "What up, Sandra?" Oh yeah, I can imagine, I know it has to be pretty icy on Long Island. Aw, thank you, Robert, that's really sweet. Even though I feel like a hot mess today. Yeah, don't pet anything. Yeah, the Tesla battery thing totally freaked me out, but I was also really enamored by it because, there's a movie, with, that's on Netflix with Julia Roberts and stuff like that, and it's like this end of the world thing, we don't know what's happening, but there's a scene where they're trying to escape and they hear all these, like, bam, 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 and there are all these Teslas that are programmed to drive in this one direction to block off the freeway, and they're all, like, blowing up and getting in accidents on each other, and I was like, "Yeah, that's some scary stuff." It's the Tesla thing is very cool and very scary, like, it's kinda reminds me, like, when you're young, you're always open to a little bit more things because you're out with the old, in with the new, right? When you get older, you get a little bit more reluctant to see the new stuff, not because you're afraid of change, is that you know that in the process of change, there could be casualties. So you're a little bit more cautious and you're a little bit more wise. So both scenarios, there's good and bad in both of them, right? But the robotic cars driving around freak me the freak out because I've seen people asleep while their car's driving them, and it's just like I'm figuring no, because all I can think about is what if someone's intoxicated, gets behind the wheel, and has their car driving and doing stupid things and is not paying attention? Like, are we going to have new drunk driving laws when it comes down, especially cars that can drive themselves? Like, there's all these new laws, and it's very confusing. But they are using it in horror movies more and more often now, where like Teslas are driving themselves into cars, are trying to crash somebody or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just saying. And then this proved it can't even hold it up past 32 degrees. These people can't go to work. Their cars are dead on the road. They can't it's just it's a huge issue. And I'm just like, damn, they paid all this money and they can't even go to work right now. I know. I want a hybrid car that's electric, but Kindle is like super against it. It's I don't know. Kendall's stuck in his ways. I think it's cool because, like, I'm like, cool, we could just like charge it and save on gas. Better for the the ecosystem and everything. But he's like, no. He's like, I want a four-wheel drive, and I'm like, you want okay, okay. I'm not gonna lie, I want a Jeep. I know, I know. Leslie, have you been out here to Maryland, DC area? Because I was as a squirrel expert, I wanted to get your opinion because me and, Arnetta were talking about, like, the squirrels in DC are a little bit more, I don't wanna say hostile, they're not afraid. Like, they'll be eating their nuts and, like, you move out of their way. Like, they don't move out of your way. They're not afraid of you in DC at all, like, at all. Hey, Julie. Julie, I was gonna message you too because I didn't know if you were going to the So Whatever studio thing because I was like, if I go there on Friday, you want to go get dinner? I'm gonna whoever's in here that's going to my So Whatever studio class, I'm going to mimic Erica. If you watch Erica from Lavender and Twine, she was on live with Laura Mormino, and she mentioned that she has a Facebook group for just that class. I think I'm going to do that same thing so that way we all can coordinate dinners and all that fun stuff. I know. No, no, they're not mean animals, but they look at like they do. The ones in DC has like they give you bombastic side eye. There's like so many like the DC ones. They'll be looking at you like what? Like you're like okay, I'll move out of your way. I'm sorry. I was just walking on the sidewalk where I'm supposed to be walking. Okay. No need to be aggressively looking at me. But yeah, no, the DC ones are different. That's the only thing that the DC ducks are aggressive too, though, and the geese. That was the first time I slapped a geese. Yeah, there's been two situations. Was in DC. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not proud of it. So it was a knee jerk reaction. I can't again. If you ever put me in a position where it's fight or flight, I will fight and fly the other way. Um, every time. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the DC squirrels have an attitude. Like they give you bombastic side eye. They'll be looking at you like, "Why are you on my sidewalk?" And you're like, "Dude, this is the sidewalk. Why aren't you on the grass?" Like, and the closer you get to the White House, the more attitude they get. They're just everywhere too, and they're very pretty. They're like black and they're a dark gray. Because at first, when I first went out there, I was like, Kendall, what is that? That looks like a squirrel. And Kendall's like, yeah, the squirrels in DC are black and a dark gray. And I'm like, what? Just different stuff. Just like the geese. I didn't know, like, I had no idea that seagulls. Okay, I lived in California, so I'm used to seagulls, but I had no idea like seagulls flew in DC and Maryland, where there's like no ocean. Like, like what is going on? I am so confused right now because for all my life, I thought seagulls equate to being really close to the ocean. So I've learned a lot of things. Like I said, this week I learned that giraffes can attack. That is just so disturbing. Like, how many of you guys seen a giraffe in a zoo and you're just like, oh, they're like Great Danes. You're just like, oh, you're just a big teddy bear. And why do we use that as a reference when bears are vicious? Vicious, very, very vicious. So I don't know. Yep. That's basically what I've been doing on these nice cold January days is watching when animals attack. I also been watching when people be getting like liposuction and like their recovery process. I'm not getting it. I just like watching people recover. Like I'm one of those like my Hope likes to watch Dr. Pimple Popper. My husband likes to watch like when people get like those crazy makeover things, but it's all surgery. We just like watching the recovery practice. And we also like watching like vets when they have emergency surgeries when they have to like do something at the zoo or whatever. We just like watching surgery in our family. I have no idea why. So that's what I was doing all yesterday. And I was like, yeah, the giraffe thing threw me off. And like Kendall was like, duh, yeah, of course a giraffe attack. I'm like, but I've never heard in like ever that a giraffe attacked. And he's like, yeah, it does happen, I guess. So I showed him the one that I was telling him about it. Like there because somebody was filming it. Of course they were filming it because it was I just never seen a giraffe kick anything. So I was like and I guess think about it, if you're a Toys R Us kid, you've been like groomed to think Joffrey brings you toys on your birthday and Christmas or when you're good. Like he's cool. Like he's a symbol of fun for kids. So seeing this as an adult, I was like, dude, this is so messed up. Yeah, scroll chewing on it and you snapped a towel at it and it started chattering back at me. Yes, Deb. These squirrels are not loyal. The squirrels out here in Columbia, they do skitter, but whenever I go out to DC, I'm just like, ugh, those squirrels are completely just they're in a whole different league. I don't even think they should be called squirrels. They should be called something else. But they're beautiful. Their coat colors are like a slate gray. It's like not black and it's not gray. It's just they're a gorgeous color. Um, but yeah, I just wasn't expecting it. So I'm hoping everybody else is doing fun stuff to keep themselves warm. I'm going to be putting on the space heater, going to go get something to eat and getting prepped because I have Patreon at noon and we're doing the first part of the Zaya bag today. I'm really excited about that. And then I am going to just do stuff in my calendar. And then I have a lot of stuff I need to film for tomorrow. So it's going to be a long day, but at least the kids are at home and they're not freezing at school because I think somebody's school heater's not working. And you know, if that happens, the school's automatically canceled. It's 11 degrees. So, all right. I hope everyone stays warm. I hope everyone is able to do whatever they have to do today to have some fun. And I will talk to y'all manana. Okay. Bye. Stay safe.